Well, hello friends, it's Shelby. Today I'm going to do some freezer prep. I purchased a whole pork loin for $1.99 a pound. It was on sale this week. And I want to get 5 meals prepped and in the freezer for our family of 6. I bought one of these big pork loins and I want to break it down into several meals. The first thing I did is cut a center cut piece of the loin, and then I took my knife and I tried the best I could to like kind of open it up. We're going to stuff it. Let's see if I can cut that there. I have this fig butter from Trader Joe's that I want to use up. So I think I'm going to use this fig butter to kind of spread on the inside here. I also have some onions and garlic caramelizing on the stove. I think this is going to give this a lot of good flavor. I have some kitchen twine here too. I don't know if you can see it underneath the pork roast, so I'm going to tie it up when we're done. Roll it up and tie it up. This will be fantastic for like a family Sunday dinner or something. All right, let me get the caramelized onions. I caramelized an onion with garlic, salt and pepper, and a little thyme, and put it on top of the fig filling. Now we're just going to attempt to roll this up into a log and tie it off.
Of all the magic places in the world I've been to, this is where my heart is. Oh, you know it's true. No matter where I go, I'm coming home to you. Been walking down the street so many times, my feet know every brick and stone. Could wear a blindfold. No matter what I do, I'm coming home to you. And I don't know why, don't know why, don't know why, I'm always feeling homesick. Oh, all I know, all I know, all I know is this is where my heart is. Oh, I have seen many places where the beauty never ends. Different cities, friendly faces, and perhaps I'm going back.
That's what it looks like. I'm just going to liberally season the outside with salt and pepper. I had a little bit of the filling left over, and it has the fig jam and the onions and garlic, salt, pepper, and thyme. I'm going to hit the pan with just a little bit of chicken stock, maybe a cupful, and let that kind of reduce a little bit, kind of mingle together. I'm also going to add a tablespoon of honey. It needs a little sweetness. The fig butter is not really super sweet. A little shake of Worcestershire sauce. I'm also going to add probably a tablespoon or so of balsamic vinegar, just to give it that little bit of acid. And a couple tablespoons of brandy, because that always tastes good. And we're just going to reduce this down, and it's going to be delicious. This is cooked for a few minutes, and it's slightly reduced. I kind of want to keep it a little bit runny, because when I go to cook off that pork roast, I'm going to sear it in my Dutch oven, and then when it's finished cooking, I'll use this to deglaze the bottom of that pan, and at that time I can reduce it a little further. So I'm going to cut off the heat. Here is that beautiful center cut pork loin roast. It had the caramelized onions and garlic with the fig jam, and we rolled it all up and tied it off. I plan on searing this in my Dutch oven and also adding these Italian onions. I got these at the bargain grocery store. This is $1 worth of them. Very good value. And we'll caramelize those and we'll finish the roast and the onions off in the oven. And then we used the leftover jam onion mixture. We added some chicken stock, a little balsamic, a little Worcestershire sauce, and hit it with a little touch of brandy. And it's a little loose. You can see that the sauce is a little loose, but that's great because we'll use that to deglaze the Dutch oven after we've roasted off the pork loin and those onions. And then we can reduce it and serve it as a pan sauce. It's going to be delicious. In addition to the pork loin roast, I cut some of it in large chunks. We're going to make some chile verde pork burritos. We have some pork chops that I cut. They're pretty thick. I'm going to brine those. And then I cut some of the pork into slices for a pork lo mein. And then smaller pieces here, I'm going to marinate this in a char siu sauce for fried rice. I have a jar of that on my pantry that I want to use. Okay, so let's get this packaged up. I have a jar of this char siu sauce that I got at the Asian market the last time we went to the city. This is what I'm going to marinate the small pork pieces in. This is the little tiny pieces of pork. I had that char siu sauce in my pantry already, and the pork is marinating in here. It's going to make a delicious pork fried rice. These are the center cut pork loin chops. I added 2 cups of water with a tablespoon of sugar, a tablespoon of salt, dissolved that together, and then added it to my food saver bag. This will help brine the pork chops and make them very moist. I'm going to make a quick marinade for the sliced pork, for the pork lo mein. I have some honey. I'm just going to add a splash of soy sauce and some Shaoxan Chinese cooking wine. You could use sherry as a substitute. The Shaoxan wine is very inexpensive, but it really imparts a great flavor. This is the package of the sliced pork loin that I'm going to use to make a lo mein. It was seasoned with a soy honey Shaoxan wine marinade. This is going to be delicious. Normally I use chicken when I make lo mein, but pork is good too. At the end of the garden season, I take a big gallon Ziploc bag and I put the tomatillos, onions, garlic, jalapenos, and poblano peppers in there, and then throw them in the freezer because I'm lazy like that. And then when I want to make a chile verde, I just pull them out, put them on a sheet tray, drizzle olive oil and salt, and roast them off. So that's what I have here. The packets that I make, the tomatillos, the peppers, the onion, the garlic, I roasted it off in the oven. I added some cilantro and some salt and a little bit of chicken stock, put it in the blender, mixed it up, added it to the pork cubed meat, and I'll just cook this off in the Dutch oven for a few hours, 2.5 hours or so, until the meat is fork tender, and then I'll use it to make wet burritos. I'll show you how to do that when we make this. But I'm extremely jazzed. We got 5 meals out of 1 pork tenderloin for a family of 6 adults. That comes to 61 cents per serving for the proteins, which I think is a great value.
Of all the magic places in the world I've been to, this is where my heart is. Oh, you know it's true. No matter where I go, I'm coming home to you.